everybody. I am Ruth Barber. I'm just going to say a couple words about Fund Community Institute in case anybody, this is your first time hearing about it. But we have been around for about 8 years. We produce research on the CDFI industry, make it all publicly available. The purpose is to have actionable research for practitioners and for industry stakeholders. We love to work with partners in the industry and have worked with CARSI and the CDFI Women's Network, Credit Builders Alliance, and are currently working on a research plan with the Minnesota CDFI Coalition to sort of document the response to the ICE operations in Minnesota. So the purpose of this really was to get a take on where we are, where the industry is, to do a snapshot of where we are with AI in the industry. So last month we did a survey. We had 104 CDFIs respond. As you can see from the first slide, they are largely what we in the industry might say more mature CDFIs, slightly larger asset size, more than 16 years in business. About 70% were loan funds, 10% banks, and the others were stakeholders, other stakeholders, foundations, intermediaries, other types of organizations. And one finding that we did think was interesting to mention is that we did get significant feedback from CDFIs that they felt reluctance to respond, either because of their lack of understanding about AI or maybe a lack of understanding of what their organization was actually doing with AI. So, perhaps something that orients us in some way to, how people are feeling about AI.
I just created a $47 ebook in 3 minutes flat using AI. Time me while I do it again. Already in Designer, interface is loading.
There are 6 areas in here that the findings cover. I am going to move lightning fast to go through these so that we have enough time for all the presentations and discussion. So I'm just going to be highlighting some of them. So first off, in terms of AI tool adoption, probably unsurprisingly, it is ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot that sort of dominate people's routine usage. Only 21% say that they're already working with a vendor or a consultant on something AI related. And right now, most of the usage is for back office and general activities like research, productivity, marketing, and very few indicated that they were already using AI for underwriting or loan docs or other sort of core mission purposes. We also asked the CDFIs to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, and they came up with a 3, which we categorize as early adopters. But the largest cluster of 35% did rate themselves a 1. So again, sort of another way to orient how people at CDFIs are feeling about their relationship with AI. And then in terms of data readiness, somewhat limited, more than half are saying that their data is siloed or fragmented, that they don't yet have data or analytics teams. Although they are more than half saying they do have data governance policies. So perhaps an indication that there is, some sort of infrastructure being built and that is out there, and certainly an area of future research to look into that. In terms of general attitudes and beliefs, there's definitely some optimism about AI's potential in terms of how it will improve borrower outcomes, and in particular, how they think it might help TA clients. There's a lot more uncertainty around the potential for bias and ethical alignment, mission alignment, those types of things. About half the respondent pool chose neutral responses in those, indicating to us that, they're unsure of where that's going and what they actually feel or how that might end up looking. In terms of resources and readiness, somewhat the same picture. in terms of the data readiness, that about half have a budget and or staff to implement AI, they think responsibly. And about half, again, have policies for evaluating the tools for adoption. So I think that, again, the rudimentary infrastructure is definitely indicated that it's going to be, that it is being put in place. Very high demand for training. All the training areas had at least half, as you can see, and most in sort of those beginning areas of understanding the capabilities and limitations and the technical implementation. So essentially, key takeaways are that it's in the early and exploratory stages. It's being used for sort of operational back-end things more than the core functioning at this point. And while there's a lot of optimism about the potential that it might bring to the CDFI industry, there also are significant gaps in terms of the readiness and budgets, staffing resources, training. So lots of areas that, for development within the industry that hopefully, the next speakers can speak to. I know that I went lightning fast through that, but Mark and Bree had asked me to do 5 minutes, and I'm now at 6 minutes, 17 seconds. But I very much like to stay on time. So if anyone has questions, after this and you want to email me directly or you want to go to our website, everything will be released on our website and on our social media. And so I will now turn it over to Saurabh and let him